Hey guys, it's John here again. Last video was my book one. My memory on my phone ran out, so I was talking about this one here, Crazy Train, and the foreword is by Zach Wild. Afterword is by Young Wee Malmsteen. Really don't care for this guy, but Zach Wild, yeah, killer. Randy Rhoads, my favourite guitarist ever, and yeah, just very cool book. I love this big time. I enjoyed this. I think I read this in a week, probably the fastest book I've ever read. I loved it. I just couldn't put it down, and anything like that with Randy Rhoads, I'm like, yeah, if I could get old my hands on it to read it, I'd be like, yeah, awesome. So yeah, that's one of my best favourite books ever. Next one, Judas Priest. I don't know if anybody's got this one. Heavy Metal Painkillers. I've had this quite a few years now. This is I can't even remember if I've read this. But it goes through each album, and this is by Martin Popoff, and I really can't remember if I've read this. I've had it for so long, but it's just trying to think when it came out. What's it got on here? 2007. I'm gonna have to read this again at some point just to make sure that I hadn't read it. I'm positive I have, but yeah, put that in my read next pile. And one sec. Next book, which I have not read yet, and I'm looking forward to reading this. I got it very cheap in HMV one day, and it is Phil Lynott, The Rocker, and I am very I have read one of the books about Phil Lynott, and I love watching the story. If you ever watch there's one, I think it's something like Behind the Music, Thin Lizzy, and it is absolutely amazing. I was trying to think if I had it on my channel, on this channel. I think there might be a Behind the Music there, because the odd occasion when I first started YouTube, I put a couple of those videos on. But yeah, you can get that book cheap, and it's by Mark Potterford, and I'm not sure if it's an authorised one. Obviously you can't really. Let's have a look. I can't read it. Let's see if it's there. It says every effort had been made to trace the copyright holders of of the photographs in this book, but one or two were unreachable. We would be grateful if the photographers concerned would contact us. Okie dokie. So it's not completely authorised. Next one, Steven Tyler biography. I've not read this either yet. I have read an Aerosmith book before, a lot bigger than this, and I think that's what put me off reading this. I picked this up because it was like about £2 HMV, and I thought I'll give it a go, and I still haven't. So that's another one for the old John, you must read this book pile. One I've just finished, Mickey Moody, Snakes and Ladders. I'd like to say that I read all this book, but I'd be lying. I read the first few chapters and then I skipped it to the Whitesnake stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. Dickhead neighbours. Right. Rock and Roll Odyssey, and Snakes and Ladders. I skipped to the Whitesnake part, and I enjoyed it, but he doesn't give enough away. Let's put it that way. And next one, Pat Benatar, and I enjoyed this book. Took me a long time to read it, but it was a really good one, and it's a New York Times bestseller as well. Between a Heart, a Memoir, and a Rock Place. Between a Heart and a Rock Place. This is a good read. Bit slow at times, but still pretty cool. If you're into Pat Benatar. One I have started reading, but I didn't carry it on, and I will do. I don't know why I stopped. I think it was just because I started it because I had nothing else lying around at the time to read, and I just picked it up. But it is Corey Taylor's 7 Deadly Sins, and yeah, this has got the new chapter in, as you can read below. I'm looking forward to reading this for sure now. Since my appreciation for Stone Sour has gone that way, I've been listening to Stone Sour. I was listening to it a lot last week, going through the albums, and I was like, hell yeah, I've got into them even more better than I did when they came out. So next one, Kiss, Hotter Than Hell. This is the stories behind every song down there, see? Paul Elliott. And yeah, it's got the songs. Where are they now? We've got the songs in there, all listed. Going through. And the albums as well. Just, they don't say a huge amount about each song, but there's some cool photos in here though. There really is some cool photos in here, which this book is worth getting if you're not really into reading a huge amount. If you're into reading magazines, this is set out just like a magazine, to be quite honest. So did I just show that? I showed that page, didn't I? There you go, there's a different one. But yeah, if you're into magazines, that's the sort of book that is. So oh God. Next one, Queen, As It Began. This is a book I do like reading. I have read all of this book. It is a brilliant book, and I really love reading about Freddie Mercury and the band. Everybody knows me for hard rock and metal, and you know, hair metal and stuff, and I love all that sort of stuff. But I also, you know, love this band a huge amount, and I struggle to watch documentaries on Freddie without it going bang. If anybody's ever watched Long Lost Family, I'm a bit like that with watching documentaries of Freddie Mercury. I don't know what it is, but there you go. Next one that didn't impress me was this one. It's called Freddie and Me. Mike Dawson. This is mainly like, it's like a cartoon strip, a comic book strip all the way through with Freddie Mercury. It's just this guy talking about you know, probably fantasizing about him and Freddie Mercury, I think. Freddie and Me is a wonderfully funny and moving graphic memoir of Mike Dawson's lifelong obsession with Freddie Mercury and Queen, told alternatively from Mike's childhood, teenage and adult perspectives. Freddie and Me explores the way in which music changes, shapes our lives, and in the way in which random memories can prop up and undermine the stories we tell ourselves. The counterpoint to Mike's obsession is his younger sister's love of George Michael and Wham, including several deliciously funny imagined scenes which, like the book as a whole, are written and drawn with a brilliant combination of exuberance and subtlety. That's what that's about. Honestly, it's taken a lot of work to do this book, you know, and it looks very well done, but I just never read it. When I opened it, I went, oh, okay. I'm not really into comics and stuff, so it didn't interest me at all. We got 2 more books related to each other. First one, The Dirt. I loved this when I first got it, and I read it all the way through. And it is a brilliant book, but sometimes I think, did they exaggerate a lot of this bollocks that's in here? Because some of it is just way OTT. And when you hear the stories in this, compared to the stories that even Tommy Lee has mentioned that Ozzy did, and they were stuff that he wouldn't even go there. The time when Ozzy spread his own shit on a wall in the hotel room, and Tommy Lee ran out the room because he was just like, even I wouldn't do that, wouldn't go there. But some of the stories in here for the book seem more crazy than just what Ozzy did. So I think that they just over exaggerated to sell this book. That's my opinion. Next one, The Heroin Diaries. Same shit, different book. And a bit too much over the top. There you go. That's my opinion. Let me know what yours is. See ya.